up, everyone? Marc Lobliner, TigerFitness.com. Man, I was on my way home. I was listening to the news. I listened to news radio, and they were actually talking about an interview done on CBS News. CBS News, and the brunette girl I'm gonna link it below. The brunette girl, by the way, you're hot. You're hot. Anyway, it's by this guy, Dr. Davis, who authored the best-selling Wheat Belly diet, Wheat Belly, and the Wheat Belly cookbook, which he's now selling now, and going around espousing a bunch of bullshit about diet that's completely false, incorrect, unless, of course, you have a gluten intolerance, which I believe is way understated than people think. I think it's almost cool to be gluten intolerant now. I almost think it's a hip thing. I might even get gluten intolerance just to fit in with the cool kids. Anyway, here's the deal. For all you people listening, Googling this and going around YouTube, Googling and searching and going over videos about the Wheat Belly diet or trying to find out information, stop it now. This guy's a jackass and he's out to get your money. Okay? Here's the deal. Calories in, calories out, and activity. Wheat is not making you fat. Not counting calories in very calorically dense foods and not exercising enough is making you fat. That's what's making you fat. And I'm someone who's trained mainstream people up to competitors. And I'm dieting now, and I'm eating a lot of wheat. And let me put it to you this way. My fat loss is quite nice. Van, my buddy, he's dieting. He's at less than 5% body fat. He's eating Lucky Charms. Now, there are some things I'm going to agree with later that are espoused in this book. But for now, I'm just going to go on trashing this shill, Dr. Davis, who, by the way, I think is misleading people just to sell books, which is fine. I guess it's as good as most of the other crappy diet books out there. Here's the thing. He says you can't help or control yourself. It's an addiction. The whole point of this is that wheat is as addictive as crack. Put it this way, anything is as addictive as crack. Anything that induces a response, a stimulus, anything that induces a reaction. You feel good. Even for some people who have hair pulling. Have you ever seen the addiction show on TLC? They pull their hair out, they pick scabs. People get pleasure and pain, and they become addicted to things. It's called My Strange Addiction, I believe. So, yeah, wheat's addictive. Okay, it can get you addicted, and so can sex, so can ripping paper, so can drinking water. Everything has a possibility for addiction. So I guess he's right. Weed is addictive. But say it's as addictive as crack, it's a bit of hyperbole, bit irresponsible to compare wheat to crack. Just an idiot for doing that. Dr. Davis, I'd love to debate you. I know you're a doctor, but I'm a bro. And bro will always win. Anyway, he says that this wheat that's biomechanically, genetically modified. Here's the thing, genetic modification does nothing with the micronutrient and macronutrient content of these. And let's look at genetically modified foods. Here's the deal, they naturally do it. You see cross-pollination all the time. What they're doing, they're just helping along. Do I agree, disagree? I'm indifferent. I'm not pro-GMO, I'm not anti-GMO, but I see no reason with the government telling us that on labeling laws, we should be able to say it's GMO. Just in case people have issues with it. Me, I'll eat the shit out of GMO foods. I don't care. I don't think they're dangerous. Again, I'll get a lot of comments saying they are, and I'm going to die, and aspartame kills babies. Whatever. Okay? He says you can't help yourself when you eat wheat. Let me tell you this. I just ate wheat right now, and I'm not jonesing for a Pop-Tart. I'm not jonesing for a lollipop. And here's another thing this asinine idiot says in this video. It increases your appetite for junk. And I'm going to paraphrase. Oh no, you don't crave asparagus or broccoli or whatever. You just crave junk. Let me put it this way. When I have a craving, I mean, let's say I'm hungry, I'm dieting, I'm getting ready, and I have a craving for something. Man, I want some cake. All right? I want some chocolate cake. I want to rip into some cake, right? I've never heard anybody saying, man, I'm hungry. I really want some asparagus. That was the stupidest statement ever, Dr. Davis. Another score for idiot. Now, let me get back to the hot girl. I forgot her name. I don't even think they mentioned it. She says, well, here's the deal. Why don't we just preach moderation? and exercise. And somehow he's like, whoa, we should, but people can't control themselves. What kind of shit is that? Yeah, you can't control yourself. Put down the donut. That's how you control yourself. You get a food scale or you look at portions, and once you've eaten the amount allocated, you stop eating. I know a lot of people have food issues, and I get that. I'm not making light of any eating disorders. But barring any eating disorders, saying that all people get this addiction, like, I can't stop eating wheat bread. Oro wheat, rolls. I mean, what a friggin' idiot. Seriously? Is that what you think of people in our minds, that we're that stupid? We can't put down a friggin' piece of wheat bread? Have you ever eaten plain wheat bread? That shit ain't addicting. Wheat bread is not addicting at all. It's boring. It's like the missionary position of old carbohydrate. So the hot chick was right. Exercise and eating things in moderation. I'm not saying, look, I agree. I believe my potatoes, sweet potatoes, fruits, veggies, I believe they have a higher micronutrient content than a lot of wheat products. I agree. Who cares? You're still going to get those. You don't have to replace every single carbohydrate and cut wheat out of your diet. I'm not cutting wheat out of my diet. I like pasta. You know, I'm Polish. I like pierogi. You know what I mean? Hell, you're telling a Jew to give up whole wheat matzah? That's crazy. That's blasphemy. That's stupid. And no one's going to adhere to this diet long term. No one's going to be making your stupid wheat, gluten, and taste-free pizza in your stupid cookbook long term. No, they're going to go to a restaurant and be like, yeah, screw it. I'm going to get the pasta because this Dr. Davis is an idiot. Back to my notes. Dr. Davis references no studies in this interview. When asked why it's going to work, he went to the personal anecdote. Well, the reason it works is I saw it. I saw a lot of things in my life. I've seen people get off type 2 diabetes drugs with just calorie control and insulin control through my diet. I'm not going to say that a controlled diet where you erase a lot of the carbohydrates is going to be a bad thing. But I am going to say that it's not going to hurt anybody. It's not going to cause you to have type 2 diabetes instantly. Moderation is key. Get your whole foods, get your micronutrients, get your fruit, get your veggies, get your potatoes, which are a vegetable. I agree, I love them. But to vilify wheat? Why don't you vilify white bread? Why it gotta be wheat? Just kidding. So I agree, return to simple ingredient foods is fine, but to vilify one is another, and the personal anecdote bullshit has to go, Dr. Davis. Cite some studies, all right? Going, well, I've seen people get and their diseases are cured, and I can say the same thing about getting them on an exercise regimen. All right, I can say the same things about a lot of things. You're a doctor. Have some responsibility. Stop just trying to peddle books. And I commend you for being rich, but how you look yourself in the mirror knowing you fooled a bunch of people into believing some bullshit that you know is wrong. You're a doctor. All right, these GMO foods are not causing bellies. What causes bellies is lack of activity and overeating. And to say that we all don't, look, I eat wheat. I'm speaking anecdotally. That shit does not get me like, I gotta eat more wheat bread. Wheat bread is the missionary position of all carbohydrate. It's boring. It's boring. With that said, don't buy his book. Don't buy his new cookbook. And if you see an opportunity to make a comment, to make fun of him on any message board, on any of his articles, they have a comment section, go ahead and do this. The wheat belly diet, while I agree, it might help you because you're cutting out a lot of foods that might add calories in your diet, thus lowering your calories. See, here's the thing. If you cut out wheat, that's cutting out like 40% of all carbohydrate option. That's going to lower your calories because you're taking out a lot of fun foods. When you lower your calories, you're eating less food. When you're eating less food, you're going to lose weight. You see how it works? I could say, cut fruit out of your diet. Some people lose weight from that, but that's not a good idea, is it? In fact, I think Dr. Atkins already took that position. The bottom line is, exercise, adequate protein, adequate essential fats, fill in the rest with carbohydrates. Try to get as many micronutrient-dense carbohydrates as you can, and you're good to go. So, that's it. Sorry I rambled. But, Dr. Davis, I'm surprised that a guy with a doctor in front of his name would think that ripping people off for a stupid cookbook where you're cutting out wheat and saying wheat is bad and should be struck from the diet. You think it's funny, don't you? You know why I don't think it's funny? It's not a game!